Hello and welcome back to the My English Matters podcast. I'm Aisya, and in today's episode, I want to share a bit of tough love, but in the nicest way possible. Now, let me ask you, have you ever said something like, I wish I could speak English better, or I'm just not confident when I speak? Yeah, me too, and it's not just about English. Lately, I caught myself complaining about how I still can't play the guitar or the keyboard with the same level of skill as some of the biggest musicians out there. You know, the ones who make it look so effortless. I've been playing these instruments since childhood, so how come I still struggle with bar chords and reading music? But then I had to laugh at myself because the truth is, duh, I don't practice enough. And that's when it hit me again. If you're not actively working on the solution, you don't get to keep complaining. In this episode, we're going to talk about why that mindset can actually hold you back, how to move from frustration into action, and how even one small step forward can make a huge difference in your English journey. Hi everyone, we're the Shirfa sisters from Malaysia. Azima, Amna, and me, Aisya, hosts of the My English Matters podcast. After spending 8 years in the UK as children, we know the importance of mastering a second language. So we created MyEnglishMatters.com as a platform to help second language learners learn to speak, write, and communicate in English with confidence through our online courses, classes, and workshops. To join our free course called Speaking with Confidence and get the latest updates about our programs, subscribe to our email list at MyEnglishMatters.com. And now, without further ado, let's get started. Now, let's talk about complaining. It's usually a sign that we care. We want something to change. We want to be better. But we're not sure how. So we vent. We say things like, I don't have anyone to practice with, or I'm not fluent enough, or nobody understands me. It's valid. I've said these things too. But the danger is when we get stuck there, when it becomes a habit. See, here's the thing. Complaining can feel productive, like we're doing something. But unless it leads to action, it doesn't actually move us forward. It just keeps us in the same place, mentally, emotionally, and even energetically. Just like me complaining about my music skills. The truth is, I do know what I need to do. I need to practice. That's it. But if I just sit around wishing I could play like Jimi Hendrix without touching my guitar for weeks, I'm not exactly helping myself, am I? And here's another thing. Constantly whining and complaining can also be exhausting for the people around you. If you're constantly complaining about your English or anything else in life without taking steps to change it, it starts to drain the people who care about you. Whether it's your friends, your colleagues, or your teachers, there's only so much encouragement and support that they can give before it starts to feel like they're carrying your emotional weight. Eventually, they might tune out or stop engaging because it feels like their energy is being poured into a bottomless cup. And I've experienced this myself. So let me tell you a personal story. There's this person in my life who constantly comes to me to complain about their love life, like all the drama, all the heartbreaks, all the red flags. And every time, because I'm the kind of person who likes solving problems, I listen, I offer advice, I try to be supportive. And what do? The complete opposite of what I suggest. Then, surprise, a few days later, they're back again with the same problem. And honestly, it's tiring, like draining. I've reached a point where I just listen silently and nod because I know they're not actually looking for a solution. They just want to stay stuck in a loop. And that's what happens when complaining becomes a habit instead of a step towards change. Not only does it keep you stuck, but it can also wear out the people who genuinely want to help you. Even the most supportive friends or teachers can get worn out when there's no movement. They might feel like they're cheering you on, offering help, repeating the same advice, but nothing's changing because you haven't taken ownership of the solution. And I say this with love. Don't be that person. People are much more willing to support you when they see you making an effort, even a small one. When you say, I'm struggling, but here's what I'm trying to do about it, That shifts the whole energy of the conversation. It invites encouragement, not pity. It shows growth, not helplessness. So yes, vent when you need to, but don't live in vent mode. Take back your power and channel your frustration into forward motion. So that brings us to this powerful mindset shift. Only complain if you're actively working on the solution. Now let's apply that to English. Here are some common complaints and how we can flip them into solutions. If you find yourself saying, I can't speak fluently, try turning that into, I'll record myself speaking every day for just 1 minute. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just 1 minute of speaking out loud about your day, your feelings, or anything you like can help build fluency over time. Or maybe you've been saying, I always mess up my grammar. Instead of letting that stop you, shift it into action by saying, this week, I'll focus on just one grammar rule. I'll practice it and use it in a few sentences. Now that's manageable, and more importantly, it's progress. And if you've ever thought, I don't have anyone to practice with, that's a common one. But there's always something that you can do. You can talk to yourself in English while doing housework or going for a walk. You can look for a language exchange partner online, or you could even start by sending voice notes to a friend who's also learning. The point is, you don't have to fix everything at once. You just need to do something. Because, and this is important, nothing changes if nothing changes. It's the same with my music. I can talk all day about how I wish I could play like my favorite musicians, but if I'm not actually sitting down at the keyboard or picking up my guitar, even for a few minutes every day, I'm not going to improve. The truth is, I know exactly what I need to do. I just haven't made it a habit yet. And that's where many English learners get stuck too. They wish things would change, but they're not taking the steps, even small ones, to make it happen. So today, I want to remind you, stop waiting to feel confident before you take action. Take action first, and the confidence will come later. Even when I was traveling recently, I went to Pakistan in April. I had moments where I hesitated to speak. I worried I'd say the wrong thing or be misunderstood. But then I reminded myself, it's not about being perfect. It's about being brave enough to try. And honestly, most people are much more forgiving and appreciative of the effort than we think. So, instead of getting stuck in the complaint, move into the solution. It's often simpler than we make it out to be. Let's be honest. It's easy to feel like we're just not naturally good at English. But here's a reframe for you. You're not bad at English. You're just not practicing enough yet. Don't wait until you're confident to begin. Confidence doesn't come first. Action does. It's like playing music. The only reason those amazing musicians are so good is because they've put in the hours. They've shown up, messed up, and tried again and again and again. And you can do the same with English. Mistakes aren't a sign that you're failing. They're a sign that you're learning. So the next time you think, why am I not good at this yet? Ask instead, what's one thing I can do today to get better? Now here's a little activity for you. Take a moment and write down one complaint you've had about your English, something that's been bothering you. Then, underneath it, write down one small action you'll take this week to work on it. For example, let's say your complaint is, I always forget words. Write that down. Then, underneath that, write, I'll review 3 words a day in my vocabulary notebook. Or, if your complaint is, I'm too scared to speak, write that down. Then, underneath that, write, I'll say 1 sentence out loud every morning. Start small and keep it simple. The goal is progress, not perfection. So, you're allowed to feel frustrated. You're allowed to feel stuck. But don't live in that mindset. Complaints without action don't change your life. They just reinforce the idea that you're powerless, that you're a victim. And you're not. You are capable of learning, improving, and connecting with others in English, even if you're still figuring it all out. So yes, be gentle with yourself, but also be honest. If you want to get better, you've got to do the thing that's going to make you better. Speak, write, practice, show up. Now, before you go, we'd love to hear from you. What's one complaint you've had about your English, and what's one small action you're going to take to work on it? Share it with us in the replies or email us at info@myenglishmatters.com. Thanks for listening, and remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be practicing. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Thanks for listening to this episode of the My English Matters podcast. Please make sure to click the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and leave a review of this podcast if you like it. If you'd like to learn even more with us, we have a free training called Speaking with Confidence, where we send 7 tips to your email. You'll also get weekly emails with tips and lessons to help you improve your English. Join us at myenglishmatters.com.